Hello to all traders and welcome back to another market review brought to you by Orbex. So we've been tracking the gold for the last few days after it seems to be, well, on the 4 hour chart into a bullish run. We're looking at year-to-date prices. We'll look on the daily chart shortly, but just starting off on the 4 hour chart today because at the moment we're seeing that it's slightly correcting after Friday's data, which saw retail sales data come in below expectations. We saw a drop on gold as well of roughly about $50, but obviously now we're in a slight consolidation mode, seeing if we're going to drop out of this this bullish channel and form a slightly new bearish tone. But at the moment, it just seems looking likely it's correcting more than anything else. So does that mean that we're just going to have a bit of a plateau, roughly about the $2,000 area, before another push to recent highs? Well, as I said, I've got it on the 4 hour chart first of all today because what we're seeing at the moment is possibly another leg to the upside. So after this slight consolidation period that we've seen here, after the $50 drop that we witnessed, we're just waiting now to see if possibly we're having this bearish divergence really come into play, or if we're going to have another push to the upside. This particular area, roughly of $2,000, obviously is a big psychological zone, as you probably know. If we do crack that, and prices do start going to the downside, then we could obviously be in for another bearish run. But more surprisingly, if we just go back onto the daily chart, because as I said, just want to take you year to date, because it's really interesting that the last time we saw these prices was when the Russia-Ukraine conflict did begin, and we saw this big surge over 2K at that particular moment. But since then, we're basically on this kind of V-shaped recovery with a few twists and turns, obviously a few corrections here and there. But the whole overall picture, if you're looking likely that it's going to be possibly a move to the downside after this particular bullish run, then we could actually see that, because obviously we're going to start hitting some particular resistance roughly, you could say a few more dollars to the upside, maybe excuse me, 2060 or 2050, where it has actually had some particular resistance. But we're not looking likely that it's going to push any further than that. If it does, then obviously we've got fresh highs, new highs, which would bring a whole different ball game into play. So just keep an eye out for the latest in these macro economic events as well, because as I said, we're seeing now that year to date have actually almost surpassed the previous high, but that was obviously due to the Russian Ukraine conflict. Now it just seems like there are more bulls in the market than bears, really pushing the prices higher, especially since the banking collapse that happened a few weeks ago as well, which was the trajectory, sorry, of this double bottom that we faced here before moving higher, over $200. So that was a big factor in the push. But it just seems that bulls are still in the market, still waiting for something to happen. And obviously we've got this slight bearish divergence as well, bearing down on gold prices as well. So where do you think gold is going? What are you trading on? Please let me know. As usual, this video will be posted on our YouTube channel and Telegram channel. But just before we go, let's have a look at the dollar, because you know a little bit like gold, we are on the flip side, we are now in a bearish transition as well, still in this bearish channel. And like I said, a bit like gold, with the year to date moves, we haven't seen these prices since the Russia Ukraine conflict. This is where dollar actually had quite a big bull run before it started collapsing for most of this year. So we've got also earnings season coming up. We've got the big one today. Tesla is expected to obviously beat estimates. Netflix. So yesterday we had Netflix, which missed subscriber numbers slightly, and they're actually for their Q2 forecast, it's not looking too great as well. So this could actually weigh down on the dollar as well as obviously the indices that make up a lot of the companies. So if we look on the 4 hour chart as well, just briefly, as I said, still in this bearish run, just waiting to see if we just extend this slightly, just kind of flirting with the top border now of this, depending on roughly where we put it, just flirting with the top border. If we do get a break, then we'll probably see gold collapsing even further. So just keep an eye on the earnings season, keep an eye on the gold trajectory and the dollar movement, and then we won't miss anything important in that respect as well. So thank you very much for joining me once again with this market review. We'll speak again tomorrow with the obviously the earnings and see if the indices has moved as well. That'll be the main topics for tomorrow. And we'll so yeah, have a great trading day ahead, and we'll speak again tomorrow. Bye for now.